Hi everybody, Leisa Woolsey, life coach, coming to you from Airdrie, Alberta, Canada, and welcome to today's coaching video. I hope everybody's doing really well. I'm so happy to be here. So today, what I want to talk about is a little something that I've discussed previously, but it's come up in various ways about 4 or 5 times today, so I decided it would be a really excellent idea to talk about it again and do a little bit more seed planting around it. So the offering that I have for today is flexing your courage muscles. I also often talk about it as creating positive motion in your life. Why this is so important is I deeply believe that when we do that in the ways that we can, and for everybody that looks different, we create a life from a place of expansion versus a place of contraction. So when we live our life constantly inside of a really comfortable, cozy little comfort zone, we are not growing, we are not expanding, we are not living in alignment with our highest good, our highest potential, our best life. However, when we begin to find ways to flex our courage muscles, then we begin to open up, blossom, we open up our channels, we begin to be brave, our soul and our spirit and our heart and our mind and our body begins to crave that sort of thing, because I believe that's why we're here, is to live from a place of expansion. So as I said, for everybody that looks different, I've given this example before. My fiance loves to face his fears and push past things. His version of doing that looks very different than my version of doing that. For fun, he likes to jump out of planes, although he hasn't done that in a long time, but he jumps out of planes, he rides a sport bike, crotch rocket as they call them, he does some extreme sledding, he goes on insane rides in Vegas that I simply would not be comfortable doing, but he likes to push that, and he does it in many other ways as well, but his version looks different than my version. So ways that we can do that, for instance, let's say we're someone we really, really, really do not like change. So in fact, we're very, very against it for the most part. We've had the same job forever. We don't change our furniture. We keep the furniture arrangement in the house the same. We eat the same foods. We become creatures of habit. And there's some value in stability and creating little comfort pockets in our life. I do believe in that. As I always say, I believe in the balance of things. However, we get to a place then, just like stagnant water, where it's not optimal, and we begin to contract, we begin to shrink, our world becomes very small, and that is not our best life. So whatever ways this week that you can find to make a change, to take a risk, to lean into doing something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable or takes you away from that strict comfort zone. So sometimes it can be you change all your furniture around just for the change, so that you want to ease into it, because I believe that taking baby steps is very valuable as well. Not everybody wants to go from 0 to 60, and that's totally okay, but what we do want to do is do something. So if you're someone who often has good ideas but you don't ever share them, then share them. Begin to share something, do something, whether it's try a new food, whether it's you hated a certain vegetable when you were little, so you're going to try it this week just to see if it still doesn't do anything for you. Whether it's try a new fruit every week, whether it's wear a color that you never wear but you've always liked but you felt it doesn't look good on you, whether you've wanted to take yoga forever and you just haven't, take a yoga class. Start where you can, but make sure that it feels like you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Because you know if you tap in, oh, this feels a little uncomfortable, or oh, this is outside of my comfort zone. Check in. Maybe it's applying for a job that you've wanted but you were too scared to apply for. It can look like a myriad of things, but I really want you to breathe that in this week and do something that scares you a little bit, or makes you feel like you're outside of your comfort zone, or feels like a little bit of a risk. Now, I'm not suggesting you go join a poker tournament and gamble away your life savings in your home. That's not at all what I'm suggesting. Just ease into it, lean into it, and begin to adopt that as something that you practice regularly. Because as I always say, anything that you're doing in your life where you want to expand or grow or learn or be a little better at this, or grow your spirituality, or whatever you want to call it, it involves you doing something different. And as that saying always goes, well, there's two sayings that apply to this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And the other great saying is, if you want something different, you have to do something different. So where you've been and how you've behaved has gotten you here, and that's great. However, take a look at the different areas of your life and begin to assess where you can go outside of your comfort zone. So that's the offering for this week, and I'd like you to really take a look and do one thing that takes you outside of your comfort zone. Now, maybe you just do one thing this week, but then you begin to do it 3 times a week, and then you begin to do it daily. If you're feeling really brave, do something daily for the next week that takes you outside of your comfort zone, and really begin to see how that feels. Because when you flex your courage muscles, that's where self-love, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-respect can be built, and it begins to flourish in some of those moments. And when we're not doing that, we're very contracted and we're not aligned with our authentic self. We're living in a darker place, a fearful place, a comfortable place. And there's not, as I said, it's always about the balance. There's goodness to that as well. However, this is about blossoming and flourishing and going like this in our lives, spreading our wings. So would love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, my website, www.leisawoolsey.com, and on YouTube. Would love to hear from you. You can comment below on what you think, what you'd like to share, what this means to you, that sort of thing. Hope everyone has a great week. It's beautiful and springy here. We're going to have some good weather this week, so I'm so jazzed, so jazzed. And yes, take care of you. Have a great week, and I look forward to doing another video on Tuesday. Bye.